This is a Wild Games Production podcast.
Hey folks, Evil DM here. Going to be answering a voicemail I got. Thank you for sending that voicemail in, Kevin from the Red Caps podcast. Excellent old school podcast.
Hey Vince, Kevin here from the Red Caps podcast. Just finished listening to your episode on solo RPGs. I thought it was great. Keep up the great work. I agree with you that solo RPGs do not replace the group dynamic, but I think they offer the DM the ability to play settings and scenarios and storylines that maybe their players are not into, and allows the DM to have that fun off on their own. I really enjoy a game called Ironsworn. I suggest you check it out. There's a YouTube playthrough called Me, Myself, and Die, which is fantastic for it. It's definitely more narrative-based, but has some really cool dice mechanics that I enjoy, and it's completely free, so check it out. Anyhow, great podcast. Enjoyed the listen. Have a great day. I'll talk to you again soon.
He is following up on the episode for solo RPGs, and he further expand upon it as you heard in the voicemail about why it's important, and how I also agree with him. Think it's important that any DM should sit down and try a solo game or a solo session of an RPG he's planning or she's planning, because it gives you the ability to see it from a DM standpoint and a player standpoint when you're making decisions in the game. It also can help you plan out your campaigns as well. I know I talked about this in a separate episode, but Kevin sending in the voicemail had me really rethinking about it again, and the game, how it's played. And sometimes you can't find a game to play, and you really do you have to scratch that itch. And obviously video games do not scratch the same itch as a tabletop RPG. It never will. I don't care how close you make it to it. I mean, you could play Tabletop Simulator, maybe that's the closest thing to it. Playing online obviously scratches that itch, but if you are by yourself and you have not played a game in such a long time, and we've all gone through that dry spell, in quotes, for gaming, and it sucks. But the only way to cure that itch, other than finding a new group or maybe heading to your comic book store or gaming store in your town, if you even have one, some people don't even have the luxury of having those things. I know a guy that lives up north of me, he doesn't have either of those in his town. The closest one is a good distance away from him. I mean, he goes there and he plays games, but there are some people that don't have the luxury of having two comic book stores or even one comic book store that they can go to. So what do? And you go online, and you don't particularly like playing online. Some people don't. At first, I didn't like playing online at all. I absolutely hated it because it gave me headaches. I'm not sure. I mean, that eventually went away, but I do enjoy playing online now. So if that option is not an option for you and you really need to play a game, solo RPGs can scratch that itch. Grab the mythic rules, or make up your own rules, or actually just take the rules that's in the book and run the game, and then do random dice rolls for if you want to do certain situations. Should I turn left? Take a d6. Turn left or right? Take a d6. Odds, yes. Left, and evens, no. Go to the right. Things like that, and you do little mazes and little, you can have a lot of fun scratching an itch playing solo RPGs. Not much more I can really say about this topic, but I do appreciate the voicemail and the wonderful comments and the praises you've given me. I appreciate it. I hope more people call in and leave voicemails, because, it's always fun to hear somebody give feedback that's positive and constructive, and it always feeds topics for the show. Alright, so this is going to be a short show today, so hopefully it helped people out, or, give some information to people. So I'm going to take off and say keep it original, keep it old school, and good night, everybody.